And again, for those of you on Android, we got love for you too. Metaview.gg, you'll be put on the Android waiting list. You know, you already know we're going to be there. But Yosefu is going to have to deal with Mythra and Pyra. I'm going to have to get used to actually saying these names a little bit. Yeah, let's get into it. Still best of 5 territory, but the consequences are very clear. Winner goes on, loser gets out. Yosefu versus Shiny Mark.
Shiny Mark has gone Mythra and Pyra for basically this entire tournament, and they have made top 8. If that doesn't speak to how talented of a player they are to be able to do this with a completely new character, like, wow, that's actually incredible. That's impressive.
Oh, it definitely is. Not to take anything away from Shiny Mark, I do kind of wonder, however, and if I could play a little bit of devil's advocate here, as I am one to do, they were a Pikachu player before this, as well as a little bit of Pit and Lucina here and there as pockets. So a little bit of experience with characters. In fact, they do have wins over people like Esam and Wadi and Symphony, and some pretty talented players. Grayson, Sharp, Yes. Like this dude's nothing to mess around with. Coming out with Pyra and Mythra though makes you wonder. Obviously, the guy has talent. Is this also an instance of people simply not knowing the matchup yet?
For sure. Whenever a new DLC character drops, it's always going to go both ways, right? So, there's going to be, like, really talented players who are just, like, able to take advantage of their tools so quickly, but then people also have not had enough time or experience to be able to as in-depthly, understand and learn that matchup. Yosefu actually not going to be able to get the follow-up out of the Holy Water. Shiny Mark able to get out of that situation right now, sticking with the Pyra. The next good hit is going to be able to take it, and Yosefu finds it with the back throw.
And there we go. All of a sudden, Shiny Mark at a little bit of a disadvantage. Out comes, that's Mythra, right? I never played Xenoblade. Either way, this is going to be Yosefu still hanging on to that first stock at 145. And yeah, you're going to throw that sword right into the face. Yosefu, again, being challenged at range. And it's a little bit of a shame when you're not able to establish your projectiles quite as effectively on a small stage. Nevertheless, Shiny Mark keeping things close and indeed grabbing the lead thanks to a pretty industrious second stock thus far.
Wow, and going through the forward throw for a bit of stage control. Shiny Mark just dipping down so low, immediately just tries to go for it all, able to get the double side B to get back onto the stage and even hit Yosefu a couple of times for it. As soon as I see Mythra or Pyra in that position, I get terrified. Because wow, their horizontal recovery is not incredible. It can be extremely exploitable.
Still not working things out quite yet on how to deal with Pyra and Mythra. It's a deadly duo for sure, and Yosefu, who's done pretty well thus far, especially in dealing with characters with disjoints, is going to have to deal with this. Oh, gonna get frozen in midair. That foresight gonna come through for Shiny Mark, who again, pretty decent player with Pikachu. Now throwing up the Pythra combo, and I don't know if you're Shiny Mark.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed thus far.
Yeah, I mean, Shiny Mark's just like really been playing really patiently, really reservedly, and they've been getting a lot of follow-ups. But more importantly, they've just been getting a lot of this vertical pressure on Yosefu right now. Tries to go for it all, going to be leaving themselves so vulnerable. But you have to remember just how much aerial drift up B actually gives you. It definitely has like a bit of a get out of jail free card element to it. Able to get the side B though, catching Yosefu on pulling the holy water. Look at these follow-ups. Look at the stage control. Is this going to be it? It is going to be it. That was incredible. That was so sick. That was amazing.
Shining all the way through. I'm pretty sure that was a 0 to death. Wow, Rex does not look nearly as butch as I would have imagined. Okay. Well, that's a weird comment to have made, but nevertheless, for some reason I just thought, dude, I honestly just thought Rex was just a grown man, and it's like, no, it turns out it's just a dude in armor, like a kid in armor. Okay, well, nevertheless, yeah, Shiny Mark, gotta say that, playing like a grown-ass man, I'll say that. The dude, nothing to mess around with. Yosefu is able to take that first stock, but from there, it's all Shiny Mark. First able to take this stock with that down air and able to catch him at the on the landing, as you do with a character that has a little bit of range. But then, yeah, you see this here. It's going to be the up throw and catch him again, trying to get down off the platform. That's where you get in trouble as a Belmont. And from there, yeah, this kind of explains itself, doesn't it, Dara?
Yeah. Wow, Shiny Milk is just like so like dominant with this character already, and it's been like how long? It's been like 3 days, right? It's been less than a week. Shiny Milk already has like follow-ups and new combo routes down. They have a really good understanding of like edge guarding and exploiting Yosefu in awful positions. Wow. This is so good for him right now. Gonna be going to Battlefield. This is a stage that a lot of Belmonts really do prefer. You know, being able to cover themselves pretty well with a platform. Also, like being able to get like a lot of holy water follow-ups, and you know, being able to space effectively with the whip. But Shiny Mark just not jumping into any of it quite yet. Gonna be finding the F tilt into the forwarder, and that sets up attack chase. Why? That is so good.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden we're going to go into Battlefield. And again, you come up against the sword. If you're Belmont, you're fine if it's on flat ground, but if you're losing advantage this quickly, that's never a good sign. And the last thing that you wanted to do is give someone like Shiny Mark even a lick of momentum, because you're sitting at 86%, and yeah, your boomerang cross getting stalled out by that sword throw. It's a rough situation.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I mean, look how patiently Shiny Mike is playing this too, right? They're just waiting for the right opening to be able to get in. They're maneuvering around these projectiles so well, spacing themselves so efficiently. Yosefu has not been able to interact. Yosefu has not been able to connect a single one of these projectiles or whips for like the last 30 seconds, but finally finding the holy water, gets another forwarder off of that. Shiny Mark, I love the way that they're dashing and shielding. Yosefu, though, upbeats the wrong direction. So unfortunate.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of mixed opinions on Pyra and Mythra. A lot of people thinking that they are high tier, if not top tier. Dara, gotta say, with the way that Shiny Mark has been playing thus far, I'm kind of convinced on that argument. I was wondering what your thoughts were, as that's going to be an up air that takes the first stock off of Yosefu, but immediately trades back with the axe.
For sure. Honestly, at the end of the day, a character with those kinds of disjoints and that kind of mobility and those kinds of buttons will never, ever be anything short of high tier. But right now, Yosefu is just like keeping this really, really close. This game is looking a lot better for him than it did the last time, but honestly, it started it off in a really similar way last game. Yosefu, though, attaining stage, not able to connect the axe quite yet, dashing back a little bit, maybe trying to catch an air dodge from Shiny Mark, was not able to find it. That side B goes so much further than you always think. You have to be ready for Pyra side B.
I mean, are you ever truly ready for that side B, however? You just kind of throwing a flaming sword in their face. That's a little disrespectful, first of all, but then again, it's not like that boomerang cross is exactly cordial either. Yeah, the Mythra just going out into the midair and getting that, landing that back air. Yosefu all of a sudden on their last stock, but again, if you're getting taken off stage as Belmont, that's never been good news.
Just second charges, and Yosefu was like, yeah, I'm gonna let that happen. You know, not even gonna try to contest it, nothing. Honestly, that move has a big hitbox on it. It's a little bit more menacing than you anticipated being. This is an awful position from Yosefu. This could be the stock, and it is gonna be the stock. Shiny Mark's edge guards are so good. This is exactly what you have to do against Belmont. You have no reason to be letting him get back onto the stage like that. You know, just go out there, throw that hitbox out. Maybe he'll die at any percent you choose.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of on you at that point, and there's been double two stock victories there. Yosefu's so scared at the ledge that they had no choice except to hang on to the ledge. And yeah, maybe the DI was a little bit suspect, but at that point, you're just racking your brain for any sort of answer in terms of how to recover against this sortie that can move like the wind. It's always going to be tough, and that was the down air, and eventually landed on the top platform. You're teed up for the up air at that point. Yosefu was able to get that stock back, but that would be the last stock that they would take throughout this whole game. And here we go back on stock number 2. That nair going to send them off, and yep, you're just going to turn around, swing the sword, and knock them out. Shiny Mark, though, is putting Yosefu exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know what kind of adjustments Yosefu could make at this point. Sometimes Belmont just gets edge guarded. He is, one of the most vulnerable and exploitable characters off stage. Even though his recovery is not bad per se, but if you have the mobility to get there in time and throw a hitbox out, he is dead as early as 0. And Shiny Mug has just been not letting him get that at all. Immediately opens off this game with a side B. Yosefu not going to have any of it. Able to get the weak hit of up into the neutral, but Shiny Mug actually able to use that. I'm not really even sure what the name of it is quite yet, actually. But able to use that option to get out of that situation.
Yosefu, gotta say, has had a great run through this bracket thus far, but just having a tough time dealing with this relatively new matchup. I mean, if you can catch, I'd have to think if you can get these girls jumping and then try to dictate from range, perhaps you're in a decent enough position. But this is their last counter pick, and they went with Yoshi's story. Do you agree with that decision, Dara?
It's working out for Yosefu. He's got a bit of a percent lead. He's able to initiate a lot more. Such a small stage, you're able to not really run away from Belmont as much. Obviously his forward and back hill is just gonna demand so much more space. Is able to get the whiff punish on that F smash, exactly what you have to be doing. Not able to actually find that ledge trap though. Shiny Mug is able to get stage away from Yosefu. Finds the follow up though. Nonetheless, Yosefu has got to be able to take the stock. And
there we are. Yeah, Yosefu, that's kind of what they needed to get, and maybe just a little bit of hope to grab onto. Going to be a dash attack working out just fine for the Belmont main, and again, this Belmont now residing in Mississippi, former member of the Tennessee PR, doing pretty decent work against Shiny Mark, who again has had some pretty decent results in tournaments past on some pretty big names as Pikachu.
Wow.
Since switching over to Pythra, and yeah, they're taking stocks and keeping themselves right in at 64%, though Yosefu piling it on pretty quickly off the Angel platform.
Like that patience, that ledge from Yosefu, just waited for the last possible second. Really just gave Shiny Mug a bit of a timing mix-up with that one. And right now they're just looking for any way to be able to mix up the landing. But look at this patience from Shiny Mug, positioning themselves so safely. Good early up B, because Yosefu was looking for that edge guard, was looking for that early kill with the down tilt into any other option. So really good awareness from Shiny Mug just to be like, hey, I want to press this option now. I want to get back onto the stage.
So gotta say, I mean, we have seen a few people do relatively well with new characters just a couple of days out of the box, Like, we've seen Thieves make top 8s, especially the collision tournaments. We saw Sharp experimenting with Sephiroth as soon as they came out, and obviously, MK Leo switching right over to Joker from Ike when that happened, and now all of a sudden Joker is broken. Funny how that works. Whenever MK Leo mains someone, they're broken now. But I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Nevertheless, it makes you wonder though. I mean, Pyra and Mythra. Well, this could be something new that Shiny Mark is locked into, and Yosefu getting battered around in their second stock, still with the lead, but oh man, how long is that gonna last here?
Yeah, I mean, 162%. Even, Mythra would be able to take it with just about any button. We're seeing the switch to Pyra, gonna make it a little bit more difficult to initiate. Has a lot slower buttons, but you know what? That doesn't matter when you're just still able to catch the whiff. Finds a jump in. X almost converting into up-angled forwarder. That's a new one for me. I haven't seen anything quite like that before. But Yosefu almost made it work. That is such a scary position to be in. Really good stuff to Yosefu just to hold on to that jump. That's exactly what you gotta be doing.
You have no other choice here, and now, as you're trying to hang on for your tournament life, you're down to your last stock, but here you are, off of the stage again. Shiny Mark maybe just missing the mark there off the ledge. Yosefu was able to get back just a little too easily, but if you're Yosefu, you can't afford 3 losses in neutral, because all of a sudden, you're in a pretty decent position to get killed away from the ledge. And
I love that use of side B from Shiny Mug, using it to be able to get center stage away from Yosefu. That could have gone so south so quickly, but they just slightly mispositioned themselves. This is going to be a big punish, and it is. That mix-up was immaculate because I'm so confident Shiny Mug could have gotten another button off of that situation, but you know what? They just went through the lead, they went through the wait, and they got that F smash. Shiny Mug with the 3-0 over Yosefu.
La Estrella, Shiny Mark. What a